When I was 15, I got my first job at a local comic book store. They hired me as their quote-unquote web manager. Sounds fancy, I know. But your girl got paid like $5 an hour for that fancy title. Yeah, that was actually a thing. So technically, I handled their online profiles and I was in charge of what was being posted on their social media. Facebook, Twitter, blogs, their website, you name it, I got it. Now that I think about it, whose idea was that? Why would you let a 15-year-old represent your store? Is that a good move? Did they even think about that? Is that what Wendy's is doing? Why is their Twitter always straight up roasting people's souls? Actually, I didn't even get an interview. They just kind of asked if I wanted to work there. But a job's a job. Your girl got her first job. What can go wrong, right? So I handled their sales online and I eventually became an expert on Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, and Magic the Gathering cards with their rarity and prices. Pretty much figuring out if your Blue Eyes White Dragon can pay for your college tuition. You know, I didn't even handle customers, which is oddly enough really ironic given what this video is about. The comic book store didn't really have an office space or much of a space to begin with, so they sat me at a random counter where the customers would usually ask me questions about comics, if there's new releases, why did Thanos have to do that, where things could be found, and I didn't really know the answers because, well, they didn't really teach me a thing. I got a job! Get to work! Hey, can I pay at the register real quick? Well, see, I can't. Excuse me? What do you mean? Don't you work here? Well, yeah, but, they never taught me how to do that, or even touch the register. Can you just do it? I'm in a rush. You're the only one here. Well, see, I don't even think I'm allowed to touch your money. I'm sorry. Anyways, there was this guy named Mark, and he was always at the store with his friends nearly every single day. The only interaction I've ever had with this guy was a casual, hi, hello, good morning, good afternoon, until one eventful day when I was trying to organize the mangas. Mark comes up to me and hands me a bag of fries. And I'm not gonna lie, I was actually legit really happy because who doesn't like some free fries, right? I didn't ask for fries, but it just magically appeared. It was glorious. Is this for me? Yeah. Aw, thank you, that's really nice of you. And without saying a word, he smirks and just walks away. Weird, but it sounds like a rom-com waiting to happen, right? Prince Charming just comes to save the day and brings some good old fries. So I put away the fries for later because no one wants grease stains on their comics and mangas. But see, here's the thing. Mark comes back with his posse right behind him. I thought legit I was gonna get mugged at my job. Oh hey, thanks for the... Give me your number. Wait, what? Your phone number? This guy says it as if he's robbing a bank, and I don't know why some people think that's completely okay, but I'm pretty sure shoving your phone to someone's face won't get you their number, and being really assertive about it just makes you look like a complete tool. I don't give out my number, I'm sorry. But I gave you fries. You good right now? You can still take them back. Nah girl, just let me get your number. And this goes on for a while. Like, bruh, I don't got unlimited like that. It's gonna cost me money to ignore your damn texts. This guy just doesn't understand rejection, grabs my phone that was on the table and just calls his number. He chuckles, hands me back my phone like what just even happened? And then this complete abomination of an excuse of a human being winks at me, then proceeds to tell me, you're welcome. And if you think that's bad, it gets much worse. Since his friends were cheering him on how he miraculously got my number like it was some sort of trophy of some sort, his ego goes off the charts. And the fact that his friends thought that it was hilarious, Mark musters up the confidence, the sheer audacity to try to lean in for a kiss. Yeah, that's right. He leaned in for a kiss, a damn stranger, a customer. Excuse me, but who are you? That ain't cool. Nuh-uh, not happening. Get out of here with that garbage non-existent swag of yours. I saw all of this in slow motion like my life depended on it. And with my cat-like reflexes, I pushed him back. Be gone with your crusty lips. No, thank you, my guy. Nah. And he gets upset at me. Y'all understand? He gets mad at me. This grown man throws a tantrum. I hiss a fit because I said nah. My boss notices this whole commotion and Mark, being a little baby, complains on how I was being rude and disrespectful after he kindly gave me french fries. I explained my side of the story, but here's the thing. His posse was there, and they backed him up since he could have gotten in so much trouble. They could have been banned from the store, so they lied for him. Bunch of freaking creeps lied for their even creepier friend, who was, by the way, in his mid-20s, so maybe 24, 25, trying to kiss a 15-year-old. Yo, that ain't right. My dude, what are you doing with your life? I'm pretty sure he knew exactly what he was trying to do. Be a complete scumbag of the universe. Luckily, my boss didn't really believe this guy since he was already scummy in the first place, but at the same time, he was a loyal customer. I didn't really have proof of what happened because his posse was there, and the store didn't have cameras other than the ones pointed directly at the cashier. Good thing my boss knew that I was the type of person that didn't like confrontations in the first place, so it's not like I'd start a problem for no reason just because I felt like it. I avoid confrontations like it's the plague. I'm the type of person at a restaurant that you give steak to, and even if that steak is burnt to a crisp, and it tastes like charcoal, even if that steak tasted like it came right out of the garbage, I'll eat it, but I won't say anything because I didn't want to bother anyone or complain to ruin someone's day. So, to avoid any further issues with this guy, my boss moved me to the back room. No windows, just a small tiny room where they kept their inventory. If you opened the door, it would hit my chair because the room was so small. They stuck me in a tiny little room because of a giant creepazoid, and I technically got punished for it. And he was still allowed to be there every single day. The hilarious part was I'd hear some of the guys outside the tiny little room say, "Oh, who are you guys hiding there? I heard there's a girl there, is that true? Hey girl, come out!" And that's also the story on how I quit my first job just after 2 months. Yep, good times.
I was working at a job where I was new at the time. This man working with me tells me that we need to go and get something. At the time, I was working at a winery, so they had these huge barrels. There was barrels on the left and the right side, so there was a little hallway that we can barely fit in. We got to the end of that hallway and there was nothing there. So I turned around and I looked at him and I was like, dude, what is there to get here? He's blocking the way and he tries to grab me and hug me. Even though I'm telling him to stop and to get out of the way, I realize that this man is not gonna do it. My anxiety starts kicking in and I start screaming, "Erica, Erica, Erica." Thank God my coworker was able to hear me. She starts running inside the hallway. I hear her screaming, "Get away from her." She shoves him against the barrel, moving him to the side. Then she grabs my hand and she pulls me to her. This is what girls go through on a daily basis.
Storytime about how I caught my husband with his mistress. My husband and I, or should I say my has-been of a husband, have been married for 9 years. Disclaimer, this is not my story time, it was sent to me. My husband and I also have 2 kids. When we met, I was totally out of his league and he knew it. We met through friends and he made sure to tell all of my friends how much he wanted to be with me. At the time, I was modeling to pay my way through school, so I had no time for a boyfriend. But he got pretty insistent. We went out on a few dates and he treated me really well, better than all the guys I had met at that time. He was a gentleman, always picked up the tab and treated me with respect. So when he asked me to be his girlfriend, I said yes. 2 years later, he asked me to be his wife and I said yes. We were truly in love and best of all, we were best friends. I could talk to him about anything because he wasn't the jealous type. 4 months ago, he asked me for an open relationship. Of course I said no and this made him really angry. I got really suspicious and started checking his phone when he'd fall asleep. And that's when I found pictures of him with a girl at a hotel doing naughty things to each other. Part 2 is up. Once he fell asleep, I checked his phone and that's when I found pictures of him with another girl at a hotel doing naughty things to each other. Disclaimer, this is not my story time, it was sent to me on Instagram. I decided not to confront him. Instead, I started gathering evidence. I started following him around everywhere after I dropped the kids off at school. Mind you, I quit my job because he wanted me to stay at home with the kids. On the first day I started following him, he went to a hotel. Since I didn't want him to see me, I stayed in my car. 40 minutes, he exits the hotel with a woman. By the way, these were not cheap hotels. A few days later, I followed him to a strip club. I checked his bank account and he had withdrawn $2,000 that same day. That's when I really got upset. A few days later, I followed him to an apartment complex. That's when I see a woman opening the door and it was the same woman from the hotel. My stomach dropped. After about a week, I mustered up the courage to go talk to her. When she opened the door, she recognized me instantly. She tried to close the door in my face, but I pushed my way in. Then the coward ran to her room and locked herself in there. Part 3. My husband's mistress runs to her room and locks the door when she sees me. What a coward. I ran right after her and I told her that I wasn't going to hurt her and that I just wanted to talk. Of course, she asked me to leave, but I told her I wasn't going to move an inch until we talked. She comes out and we proceed to talk for 3 hours. She explained to me that she's an escort and that my husband pays for her apartment. She also told me that she wasn't in love with him and that she really only needed the money. This made me very happy. She also told me that aside from paying for her apartment, he gave her an allowance of $3,000 a month. Oh yeah, and that she knew about me and the kids. That's when I lost it. I took my pepper spray out of my purse and sprayed her. Fortunately, it didn't directly hit her in the face, but it still got her. I went straight to a lawyer and presented all the evidence. When I got home, my husband asked me how I found out. I showed him all the evidence and he was stunned. He's begging me not to divorce him because he knows it's going to be really expensive. I kicked him out and he went to his mom's house. His mom was angry and she didn't let him stay there. How much should I ask for?